AI is getting scarier and scarier. ChatGPT might be taking jobs away from writers. Midjourney and DALL-E might be taking jobs away from artists. But as a filmmaker myself, I wasn't really too worried about my own career until I saw Adobe Firefly. I got really worried. But then I got a package in the mail from Universal Music that put my mind at ease. Allow me to explain.
ChatGPT.
Using artificial intelligence.
Reddit, it's Wikipedia.
And oh my God.
It has the potential of civilizational destruction.
I'm not going to get too philosophical about what AI can do to the human race if we let it get smart enough. We'll let Elon Musk and James Cameron handle those topics. But let's talk a bit about ChatGPT, the most fascinating and frightening AI tool so far. You all know how it works? You all know what it does. The most surprising thing to me is how articulate it is and how well it words whatever you ask it to write. And by the way, do try to ask it politely, on the off chance that it becomes sentient someday and it remembers you. But while you can't really use it for much except basic writing, I do see its potential, and yes, I do think it will be able to write scripts competently in a few years. But will those scripts fool anyone? I don't think so. See, millions of scripts get written every year by people. Some are good, a few are great, most are absolute trash. Why? Because everybody wants to be a writer, but very few people actually can. Besides, everything's already been done before, and the only new thing you can bring to the table is your own execution of an idea many others have likely touched on before. People have written tens of thousands of scripts about gangsters and bad guys, but until Quentin wrote Pulp Fiction, nobody was able to do a movie quite like it. ChatGPT may pull together bits and pieces from other stories and mash them all together into something incredibly coherent. It might even deliver you competent full-feature scripts at some point, but it will never have that X factor that a good story written by a talented human being has, and I don't think it ever will. So if you're a screenwriter, don't worry. ChatGPT will not take your job. If you're a hack writer writing thousands of generic scripts or articles for whatever reason, sure, your job may be in jeopardy. Those 10 ways to know you're from Boston articles will be able to write themselves from now on. But if you have a good idea and a good take on it and you write a good script or article, trust me, no AI tool will be able to compete with you. And if you're also capable of turning that idea into reality and can direct, shoot, and edit it, forget about it. That's not something a text prompt can replace. It can try to mimic it, of course, and it will become better and better at it. But it won't be human, and it won't be you. We connect to human stories and human ideas and with each other. Code can't fake that. When they're not busy updating their software with new features no one asked for, Adobe seems to be hard at work developing their own AI system. And it is scary. See, when I'm not making internet videos about why Tarantino shows a close-up of a strudel in his film, I'm doing my job, which mostly consists of directing and shooting stuff with my team. But 80% of my work ends up being editing at the end of the day. We shoot stuff for clients, mainly companies, and it's usually a let's go, go, go type of shoot, which I then have to edit into something coherent. So when I saw that Adobe Firefly can now basically find stock footage and edit it for you based on the script, I got really worried for a second. Is my editing job in jeopardy? Is this why Premiere Pro is getting worse and worse every year because Adobe knows it will be useless in a few years? But then the mysterious package came in the mail and I realized I have absolutely nothing to worry about. The package I got was simply my pre-order of Metallica's new album. I got the yellow edition vinyl to match the yellow artwork, and it was awesome buying a vinyl in 2023 from an 80s band that's still active after 40 years. And that's when it hit me. Vinyls still exist in 2023, even though it's so much more convenient to open up a streaming app and listen to music on your phone. But the vinyl industry is still booming. We've just had Record Store Day all around the world. People still want to have that personal, physical touch to the music they listen to, and apps will never replace that. I still stream most of my music, don't get me wrong, but nothing compares to holding a giant piece of cardboard with artwork on it, taking out a giant vinyl disc out of it and playing it old school. There are some things which technology cannot replace. Technology can offer a more convenient alternative, sure, but loading up a new album in Spotify simply doesn't feel the same. And watching an AI-generated film written by ChatGPT will never leave you feeling satisfied the way you feel at the end of a really good movie. The actors still need to be human. The story still needs to be human. And whatever makes us connect with each other cannot be coded. So don't worry about it. AI should motivate you. AI should encourage you. Tools that were once incredibly expensive and/or hard to master, like 3D animation, will soon be more and more available to you. Soon, if you have a good idea for the next Toy Story, you might not need Disney's money to create it. But you know what makes Toy Story great? It's not the animated toys, it's the story. Pixar may have a genius team of animators, but it's the story that turns their brilliant animated work into true cinematic masterpieces. It's not the renders. So focus on the human side of any story you want to tell and your career will be fine. However, look, we can talk about story and its importance all day long, but one fact remains. AI will render some jobs useless, including in the filmmaking industry, maybe even yours someday, depending on what you do. I don't want to gloss over the fact that some people's careers are truly in jeopardy because of advancing technology, but that's always been the case. Remember the matte painters, like the one who extended that Texas City Hall upwards to create the OCP building in RoboCop? What about the stop-motion animators that helped with Ed 209? Hell, what about those editors who literally cut film? Those jobs became useless. The second computers became good enough to do them more efficiently. And many other jobs will be wiped out clean, unfortunately. This is only the beginning. You can't stop time. You can't stop your aging process, and you can't stop the advancement of technology. So don't be in denial about it, and do embrace change. Prepare for change. Adapt. And you'll probably get a lot of good out of the upcoming AI tools. I use AI tools every day, including in this video, and will likely use them more and more as they progress. And even if some threaten some of my projects, or the work I do for some clients, so be it. Nothing I can do to stop it. But I can do something about embracing it all and using it to my advantage. You can too. If you're an artist of any kind, then focus on telling stories. Focus on being you. Focus on being true to yourself and create what you want and learn to use these new tools as they come along. And I promise you that there will always be a world where your voice will be needed. But it has to have something to say. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you want to see more content like this. Don't be lazy.